Hello everyone, my name is alexmuwonge. I'm the author of this book, Create Your Future. Did you know that success and failure are predictable? And the only way you can predict your future is by creating it. In the series that are going to follow, we are going to look at the different chapters that are within this book. I will be discussing with you how to discover your life purpose. I'll discuss with you how to know thyself, you are called to serve, what's really on your mind. And then lastly, we shall discover and go in depth into mastering the 7 critical keys to living the life you desire. So dear friend, I welcome you on this journey for the next series of 7 weeks. We shall be delving deeper into every chapter in this book, and I will be taking you on a journey that will not leave you the same. Thank you very much. Discover your life purpose. There are 2 great days in a person's life: the day you are born and the day you discover why. This is a quote by William Buckley. I believe that every person that is born with a life purpose. In fact, discovering and honoring this life purpose is the most important action successful people take. However, the journey of self-discovery is not an easy one, but continuous. It keeps unfolding as each day passes. As an individual, the earlier you discover who you are and what your life purpose is, the easier it will be for you to make better career-related decisions. Your purpose is unique. It doesn't need to be complex. It just needs to inspire you to work, to become the best you are meant to be. These talents give you a special ability to do certain tasks easily and happily. Start the journey. In his book, Understanding Your Potential, Miles Monroe wrote that the wealthiest place on the earth is not the fields of Kuwait, Iraq, or Saudi Arabia. Neither is it the gold and diamond mines of South Africa, nor the silver mines in Africa. Though it may surprise you, the wealthiest place on the earth is the graveyard or cemetery. Buried beneath the soils are dreams that never came to pass, songs that were never sung, books that were never written, paintings that were never placed on the canvas. The grave has ideas that were never shared, visions that never became a reality, inventions that were never designed. What a tragedy. In order to avoid adding to the wealth of the grave, you need to discover your inner strength, your talents, your gifts, and serve them to the community. Build your career path. Within you is something that is so unique that you need to bring out to the world. Within you is a cure for a disease. Within you is a new song. Within you are enormous books that have not yet been written. Within you are inventions that are meant to transform Africa, to transform your country, and to transform the world. Within you lies greatness, waiting to be manifested. Discover your life purpose. Discovering your life purpose is finding out the original intent of why you are on the earth. Purpose is the reason why something was created or why something exists. Knowing your life purpose is knowing why you exist. Jeremiah chapter 1 verses 5 says, I knew you before I formed you in your mother's womb. Before you were born, I set you apart. I anointed you as a prophet to the nations. Jeremiah lets us know that before our physical creation, God knew us. We existed in the spiritual realm. When your father's sperm and your mother's egg met, you came into physical existence. Then these two cells were created and kept dividing, and later you took form. So as God knit you in your mother's womb, by placing all the body organs in place, God had a purpose and a plan for your life. And that was the reason for your creation. As we go through this journey of this book, Create Your Future, we are going to be discussing more and more on how you can create your future. But creating your future starts with discovering who you really are. Creating your future starts with knowing who am I. So we've been discussing about the topic of discovering our life purpose. And we have said in the last discussion that before you were knit in your mother's womb, God knew you. He put you together in your mother's womb. What does that mean? It means that if you are to know your purpose, the first place you will have to go is going back to the source from which you came. The first place you have to go is to go back to God, from whom you came, the one who formed you. I remember when I was starting this journey of personal self-discovery back in university, I was a confused young man. I had been given a government scholarship to study textile engineering at Chambogo University, but this was not the course of my dream. I had a different dream, but because there was few funds that my parents had, I had to take on this particular course. And like day in, day out, like you're in class, you go to the lecture rooms, but man, like you're studying something just for the sake of getting the marks. So I remember there was a day a friend of mine took me to a spiritual seminar, and one of the things they talked about was life purpose, being able to hear the voice of God. So I was like, okay, this sounds a little spooky, but let me give this a shot. And one of the things they told us that the next time you go in prayer, instead of only talking to God, get some time to keep quiet and let him speak into your heart. Yeah, so this time round when I knelt by my bedside, I just made a statement: God, what's my life purpose? And there is that still small voice just deep within you. I believe most of us have had an experience with it. It said it's in the things that you love to do. Your life purpose is in the things that you love to do. So I got out my journal, asked myself, what is that thing that I love to do? So I knew I loved art and I loved computers. So, well, I said, okay, if I'm passionate about art and I'm passionate about computers, which kind of career could come out? So I noticed, okay, I can use the computer to do art, and that led me on a journey of learning how to design using the computer. Fast forward, I completed my 4-year textile engineering course. I've never worked in the factory, much as I was trained to do so, but having known that my purpose lied in those two skills set me on a new path that has influenced the last 10 years of my career. So I just want to imagine with me, for example, you were the iPhone. You find yourself on this earth, you're an iPhone. How best could you know the purpose than consulting, say, Steve Jobs, who was your creator? So I want to encourage you, my brother, my sister, dear listener, that make it a point today that when you go back in your prayer closet, you take a moment to ask yourselves, to ask God, why am I here? I know sometimes many of us are coming from challenging backgrounds. You know, you have finished university, you don't have a job, you are married, and the marriage is so hard. You could have lost your job uh, because of COVID. You have a family, maybe kids have not been in school, you don't have what to feed them, and life is confusing. You know, you have tried this and that, but maybe you need to go back to your source from where you came, because you are one with your source, and get to know the purpose of why you are on this earth. Now, another way you can discover your life purpose is to reflect on your childhood. Reflect. Take some time and close your eyes. Then go back to your childhood memories. Go back in time. You see, usually when kids are young, their spirits are still, innocent. They're still connected to the heavens. They're still connected to the source from where they came. Their inner minds are not yet contaminated. Yeah? So close your eyes and imagine the time you are 1 to 7 years, and think about what are those things that ran wild in your imagination. What are those things that you really wanted to do back then? Once you're able to recapture that feeling, the emotion, the imagination, the fantasy, deep within that space lies some of the answers to your life purpose. Questions that you can reflect about in terms of discovering your life purpose. What seemed to be the perfect job or work you imagined while growing up? I know many of us right now, we are doing jobs that are not connected to what we studied. Some of us are doing jobs because of, family connection. Some of us are doing jobs because of the grades we received in school. Maybe you are a teacher, or you are into a particular profession just because your marks got you there. But deep within you, you know very well that if you had been given an opportunity, you'd have selected otherwise. So the question is, what seemed to be the perfect job or work you imagined while growing up? Another point of reflection is when you go back into your childhood days, or when you are in the workplace, or when you're in the job, what got you receiving significant praise from your parents, from your siblings, and from your peers? Sometimes you could be in this particular workplace, And everyday people are actually commenting how smart you are. People are commenting how smart you are. That could be a sign that maybe you're called for fashion. Or when people fall sick, you are very empathetic. You really want to care. And that could be calling that probably you are called into the hospitality industry. Another question you can think about is, back then when you were young, which kind of toys did you love to play with? You see, it's not by coincidence that most women become mothers, but it is also something that when kids were so young, they're given the dolls to play with, to mimic holding a baby. So within them, like it's a program that is being given to them, preparing them for future motherhood. And you'll find for the boys are always given, toy cars. And it's not by coincidence that most men are passionate about buying cars when they're older. Someone could be renting, they don't have, their own home, but they can, put money and buy a car. So go back into your childhood. What are those toys that really drew your attention? An answer of your life purpose could also be there. So as we conclude this chapter, I would like to read you this extract. It's an assignment. Get a quiet place that is serene like where I'm at, and relax your mind. Forget everything, keep calm, close your eyes, be calm, then forget everything else. Let the worry, let the fears, let everything get out of your mind. Relax. Then go back to your childhood days. Do these assignments that I've given you. And as different ideas begin to come and pop up in your mind, begin to write these down. Begin to write them down. Because this information that you're actually discovering has always been in your inner consciousness. It's been stored there, only waiting for you to dig it up. And for the answers that you get as you do this exercise, take action. Begin to take an action step towards those very things that have come up from your inner consciousness. And as you do, things will begin to align in your life in a way you have never seen before. And before you know it, your life will have changed. Your life will never be the same. I did this about 10 years ago, and I've been on an amazing life journey ever since I discovered who I was, ever since I discovered my life purpose. Thank you so much. It's been great journeying with you in the first chapter of this book, Create Your Future. If you want a copy, copies are available at only 30,000 Uganda shillings. They're available as in e-copy, as a PDF. They are also available as a book format. Feel free to reach out 0703 27 0127 and 0773 037103. Or you can even reach me on email, alexmuwonge@gmail.com. I would like to listen to you. I would like to hear your comment. I would like to take on any of your questions. What is that is still perturbing you in your life discovery? Feel free to reach out so that we can have a discussion. Feel free to reach out. Don't go and make the grave wealthier. Don't go with the music still within you. Don't go with our art. Don't go with those political ideas that are meant to change Africa. We want it, and you can only get it once you discover your life purpose. Thank you very much.